Welcome to NBA Jam!
This week we are taking a look at a much requested game, the original NBA Jam. Now a quick disclosure here. I'm not the biggest fan of this game and I'm awful at playing it, so I won't be commenting too much on the gameplay. Anyway, back to the game. The original NBA Jam hit the arcades in 1993 and was developed by Midway. NBA Jam is a 2-on-2 basketball game, as you can see, with an exaggerated nature of play. Players can jump extremely high and make slam dunks that defy both human capabilities and the laws of physics. There are no fouls, free throws or violations, except for goaltending and 24-second violations. This means the player is able to freely shove or elbow opponents out of the way. Additionally, if a player makes 3 baskets in a row, the character becomes on fire and has an unlimited turbo and increased shooting precision. The on fire mode continues until the other team scores or until the player who's on fire scores 4 additional consecutive baskets while on fire. The original arcade version of NBA Jam features team rosters from the 1992 to 93 NBA season, and the console versions use rosters from the 93 to 94 NBA season. More up-to-date rosters were available in subsequent ports released for the Mega CD, Game Boy and Game Gear in 1994. Midway did not secure the rights to use Michael Jordan's name or likeness, as Jordan himself owns the rights to his name and likeness, not the NBA. And as such, he was not a playable character for the Chicago Bulls or other teams. Another notable absence from the home version was Shaquille O'Neal, who was in the arcade version as a member of the Orlando Magic.
Hardaway. Allen comes away with the board. From the three-point line. At the buzzer.
The first port we are going to take a look at is for the Super Nintendo. This version was developed by Iguana Entertainment and released in March 1994. First impressions with this port are good. Some nice music which is missing from the original, and everything seems colourful. The digitized images of players look good. Then we start the game. Instantly you will notice how much smaller the players are. They don't scale either, but that's the case with many of the home ports. So we can't be too disappointed at that. What is disappointing is the muffled speech samples and the lack of them. I would have expected a little more. Gameplay is reasonable, the game plays very much like the arcade game, but I did find at times the controls seem a little floaty, not always, just at certain intervals.
Rebound! Wild shot! No good! Yes! No good! No good! No good! Yes! Wild shot! Yes!
Also released in March 1994 and also developed by Iguana Entertainment comes this Mega Drive port. And get this, it's better than the Super Nintendo in many areas. The big change is that the players actually scale in this port just like the arcade game. Just look at how players seem bigger near the top of the screen than they do at the bottom. Then there's the extra speech, which is more on par with the arcade game in terms of clarity. The game also feels more snappy to play. The only real letdown is the crappy music and lower color palette, but even that isn't too bad.
Puts up a brick. No good. Wide open. No good. Head fake. Head fake. Head fake. Ugly shot. No good. No good. Jams it in.
NBA Jam goes portable with the Game Gear release in March 1994, also by Iguana Entertainment. Now, while this may look like a cartoon version of NBA Jam, it isn't all that bad. Yeah, it only runs at 30 frames per second, and yes, it is missing all the speech and the music is pretty bad, but it is recognizable as NBA Jam, and for that alone, it's not bad at all. Coming out in November 1994 from Beam Software, this is the Game Boy port that seems to be a direct port of the Game Gear version. In fact, it is a direct port. It even has the same awful music. It plays just the same, but now in monochrome. Coming last in the ports of NBA Jam in December 1994 was this Mega CD port. You can tell that this is based upon the Mega Drive version, but now with more added to it, such as the opening that resembles the arcade version more, loads of extra speech, and even the choice to switch the in-game music on or off. I would have liked to see some background animation like the arcade game, but still, this possibly could be the best version of the original NBA Jam out there.
For two.
Here's a little bonus for you. This is the unreleased Master System port. It is basically the Game Gear version, but with less colours and runs a little faster. The top of the screen could be flickering because I'm playing this in NTSC, or then again, it could be the result of this being an unfinished game. And let's take a look at all those versions of NBA Jam running side by side.